welcome to the ADK Rock and Metal Network. I am Dave Dubs from Tell Us Subscribe and Nothing Gained, and joining me today is Andy Edwards from the Doomsters Nomadic Reign, and we have the lead editor, writer supreme, and encyclopedia of metallic knowledge, who is Kirk Houghton. How are you today, Kirk?
You just complimented me even more now. I'm actually starting to believe it.
I was very good at talking bullets. It's
no criticism then. It wasn't. It was just gushing praise. Thank you. Can you continue that?
No, that's it. That's what you're getting.
That's it. The flattery is over.
How are you today, Andy? You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm just enjoying and reveling in that fantastic introduction you gave Kirk. That's even more so than the last video. I'm still guitarist in the Nomadic Reign, which I'm quite happy.
You're a Doomster.
The Doomsters. Yeah. Well, let's come up with something else. So I'll come up with something new for the next video for you.
All good, thank you.
Right, today we are going to be doing some broken down and pulled apart. That's where we take a song and we react to it effectively, but we break it down and stop at sections and talk about the sections as we go. Today we are doing a choice of a host choice, and we are doing Andy's pick, and it's Paradise Lost. The song is called Beneath Broken Earth. That came out a couple of years ago, didn't it?
No, it's 2009, isn't it?
The older though, okay.
To us, that seems like only a few years ago because we're old people.
Yeah, I swear that was when I last watched it. Okay, but I have seen this video, but it was a long.
Oh, sorry, Andy, am I wrong?
2015, this album from Plague Within.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Well, I know I saw it last year at some point. I swear.
Yeah.
I did.
What are you thinking of?
I remember buying this when it came out.
So I think we all go. I sent out a message that sort of said pick a couple of videos for us to discuss on the channel. So was there a particular reason, Andy, why you picked Paradise Lost and Beneath Broken Earth?
Not really, in as much.
Okay, great.
No, it's a great song, and I really like the look of the video, as we'll discover when we go through it. But this particular track. I can't remember if I saw the video before I got the album. It's sort of like the return to form Paradise Lost album for me, because I was a massive fan from back in the day, had the demos and all this kind of thing, but then tuned out at Draconian Times, and then they went through the period that I'm sure Kirk will fill in exactly what kind of sound they were creating, sort of almost Depeche Mode and sort of
they turned into Depeche Mode,
electronica. But this is back to 7-string drop A fucking doom. So
It's like Shades of God era.
No, not really. It's just pure doom metal, which I don't see them as a doom band. So to me, yeah, probably the first album. It's a bit closer to that, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah. No, it's just a song that really struck home when I first heard it, and then whether it's the video or the song first, I can't remember. But I really, the look of the video is great as well.
Right, well, let's go check it out. I can't quite remember the video. I know I have seen it at least once, but I can't remember much about the video. So, yeah, let's go check it out. Yeah, it's always a difficult one with a song like this to know. Like normally you do like, okay, we're at the end of the first chorus. Let's stop there. There's a natural stop point. You just don't know where the natural stop point is on a Doom song like this. But yeah, I figured halfway point would probably be the best way to do this right now. Okay, I think we'll come to Andy last because it's a song you well know. But I'll go to you first, Kirk. Thoughts on this, and because obviously you know this anyway.
Yeah, it's actually my least favourite song on the 2015 album. I'm watching it now, I understand why, and this is probably controversial. They actually are just trying to, I don't think they're trying to, but it's like a poor version of My Dying Bride. Now, the reason that's controversial is, one...
I was going to say My Dying Bride, it reminded me heavily of.
Yeah. One, the bands don't like being compared against each other. I know they're both from West Yorkshire, both pioneered Death Doom. My Dying Bride stuck with it a lot longer and have been more consistent. But let's not forget, My Dying Bride, they were already signed as well in 1990 to Listenable Records after they'd put out that demo towards the Sinister. They were a lot more death metal, so were Paradise Lost. So when I heard this, I was thinking, it doesn't really link up with their early stuff, because this just sounds like My Dying Bride 2015 or 2012 or 2007. And they were doing this a lot earlier, even in the early 90s. And this just doesn't do it for me. And I'll tell you why. The riff, it's only over the last few years I've learned to appreciate slow forms of heavy music. And that's really because of post-metal, which is a lot grandiose, and sludge metal, which has a bit of hardcore and doom. And this is just pure doom metal, isn't it? But it doesn't have the two qualities that I like in sludge, which is really dirty, or post-metal, which again is grandiose. So it doesn't really do anything for me, the riff, but at least when Gregor McIntosh's second guitar comes in, he starts bringing in the melody. But again, that's not his style. He's just playing like Andy Crane from My Dying Bride. You've not got any of that unusual post-punk arpeggiated sequences in there, which would make it more interesting. So yeah, it's just a bit too sluggish, this, for me, and it doesn't really, I think it kind of almost squanders a bit of momentum on the album as well. But they have a great closing track on this album called Return to the Sun, I may add, and that's the complete opposite to this.
So for me, something like this is why I am a big fan of CDs and having CDs and putting CDs on rather than streaming platform shuffle lists. Because if you went, oh, Paradise Lost, shuffle, and you had this followed by something off of Draconian Times, you're going to go, this is two fucking different bands. There's no way this is the same band. Because it's chalk and cheese. Paradise Lost, there's such variation on the albums. Now this, as you said, yeah, outright doom. I love the soloist in it was simple, but worked really well within the track. It's too slow for me. It is at this point. This has just got to the point where I'm like, okay, I don't know where this is going as a song. But I do like the attitude. I like the video in the sense that it reminds me of like 2010 era video. The green filter, that kind of, because the early 2000s, it was all blue filter. Everyone loved this bluey filter they shoved on everything. By 2010, it was a green filter they'd moved to. But it's got a really cool look to it. I started almost chuckling as it was going at the beginning, as you got that first riff, because it suddenly made me think that doom metal was basically, like when you get guitar tap and it's got all these string of notes and you can't play that well, so you have to slow it all right down. Bing, 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 yeah. Bing, 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 and you're just learning guitar. That's what doom is, isn't it? It's just someone who hasn't learned how to play a guitar riff fast enough. But just. It's when that was the evasive thought that went into my head as I suddenly went, wonder what it would sound like if you just sped this up. But it would be like, down, did sweet home Alabama. Oh shit, that's what it is, right? Andy, go on then, talk us through this track then, come on.
I mean, this is phenomenally slow. I don't get the My Dying Bride reference, because My Dying Bride have never played this slow or this low tuning. But Dave, that is a really good analogy regarding how slow that first single note riff is. It's as if you are learning it following a tab. You're glancing at your screen or whatever and finding it. But I mean, I can play that opening riff but I don't play it as slow as that because do you know what I mean? It does seem it's
there's a skill to that.
slow.
Actually, playing that slow is a skill.
Yeah,
your body wants to go faster.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's there is some sort of different time sequences in there, but I think it's an absolutely incredible track. The video, what I like about it is the sort of out of focus, low lit, sort of studio rehearsal room kind of setting. Did you notice on 50 Seconds, Dave Aronidi, he done my what you picked me up on, playing the chord with his middle finger out.
I didn't see that.
He's my influence. That's where I get it from, honestly. But no, I mean, there's that opening sort of riff on its own, and the band comes in, the drums, and then on the sort of the verse, the two guitars are harmonised. They're playing basically the same riff but at different octaves. I think that works really well. And what an epic chorus! Hail to emptiness, you wish to die. I mean, it's honestly, it's really hard hitting, miserable, forlorn set of words that go with the song. There's the bit where after that first chorus, which I thought he was going to stop, Dave, the two guitars are playing again in harmony, but just on their own without bass or drum. I think that is an epic section as well. And the solo that leads into reminds me very much of the sort of guitar tone and the sort of melodies that Gregor McIntosh was doing on the debut. So they've almost come full circle at this point, but they've gone even more doom and even slower and even lower in the tuning. And I just think it's a great track.
I wonder if that was purely intentional when they wrote this, when they were working this out, and they're like, we need to do something much doomier than we've ever done before.
We need to outdoom ourselves, yeah.
Yeah. You never know, it sometimes happens. Let's do it to the end. Let's go. Okay, there we go. Paradise Lost and Beneath a Broken Earth. Let's round table it to the end. Kirk Houghton, over to you.
I am going to have to argue the point with you, Andy. Surely this is My Dying Bride. It reminds me of my least favourite My Dying Bride album, which is the 2012 album, The Map of All Our Failures, which really offended Aaron Stainthorpe when I told him that, because that's one of his favourites. But you mentioned there's no direction to this song, and you keep waiting for, like, oh, when we come to the third chorus, something's going to happen, and it just continues at that tempo. So that this kind of sluggish, overly morbid doom metal is not for me. I do like doom metal, but I think, Andy, you would call this epic, wouldn't you? I don't. To me, this needs strings in it. It needs something, some flourishes to be epic, or even the vocals need to be belting in a different pitch rather than just in a death metal voice, which is very strong. He's one of the best vocalists of all time in metal, probably one of the most underrated as well. The production's excellent though, and I do like the guitar tone. Did you say it's 7-string down tuned to A, Andy? Is that correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when they when they first introduced 7-string guitars. I think it was that 2009 album, Faith Divides Us, Death Unites Us. Which, apologies, for some reason I thought this song was from there at the beginning, and then I stand corrected. It's from 2015, but doesn't go anywhere. This song, it's probably a good breather on the album, so it doesn't. I said before, it squanders momentum. It probably doesn't actually, because you always need a palate cleanse, don't you? It's just a strange song. To me, I can't really call a doom metal song unmotivated, because that doesn't make any sense, does it? It's doom metal. It's meant to be miserable, but this was. I'd almost felt like I've been on a death march and I'm just waiting for someone to toss me into the ditch to die. So yeah, not really for me, and it just reminds me of My Dying Bride, and my least favourite My Dying Bride album from 2012.
Wow. Okay. I actually enjoyed the track. It grew on me as the song goes on. So although I said all the stuff about it is too slow, once you stop trying to speed it up in your head, because your body's sort of going, is it going to get into it? Is it? Once you just release that and just relax and just go with it, it is a great little track. And I like the music video, but I think 6 minutes of them just playing in a room is too much. And I was just trying to feel, especially near the end, because this feels like an ending song. This feels like this should be the last song on the album, because it's so fucking miserable and so fucking depressing that it needs to be the end of everything on that album. It just needs to be like, and just fade at the end. And I went, well, what would I imagine doing? And I actually went, I could imagine this video being a person just sitting on the precipice of a canyon cliff face, and some sort of nuclear weapon's gone off, and the dust is just settling, and everything, you're just looking over the world as it all fucking dies. This is the song for that. To me, when I just looked at it, I was like, yeah, that would work. And actually, or if you've just gone on and listened to Kirk talk about prog for the last 2 hours, that's how it makes you feel. This song, it's fucking depressing. Andy, what's your thoughts then?
Nothing much more to add, because I think there's nothing new in the second section you played there. It's just sort of mainly 3, maybe 4 riffs, sections, passages, whatever you want to call it, and they just repeated it. And I realise now from what you've said in your comparisons that it's like it's funeral doom, which you don't usually associate Paradise Lost with. I'm not familiar enough with this album, although I have got it, to sort of compare it to the other tracks. I will need to sort of dig out and listen to it again, but this one just stands out for me, that I do sort of often play it on its, individually and on its own. But I like Map of All Failures, going back to My Dying Bride, that is one of my favourites, but I still don't get the comparison. It's in the encompassment and umbrella of Doom, yes, but I don't see the sort of, perhaps Paradise Lost sort of copying or emulating My Dying Bride or vice versa. It's just a fucking miserable but amazing doing track, in my opinion. And be interested to see if we get any comments or feedback from the viewers, what their thoughts are.
Well, if you do have any thoughts, leave them in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.